Good afternoon, students. How are you? Yeah, I'm sorry, extremely sorry. Actually, today I had some work in the college, and that's why the session got postponed. Please confirm. I hope I'm audible. All right. So what we were doing, I think we were doing the section 128, right? Section 128 overview. Okay. So just a second, there is one call from Kritika ma'am. I need to attend that. I'm extremely sorry again. Can I take you 2 minutes? आज वैसे भी लेट हो गया है थोड़ा और भी ओके, आई एम सॉरी स्टूडेंट, आज पता नहीं आज का क्लास में क्या दिक्कत आ रही है, दिक्कत के ऊपर दिक्कतें हैं। ऑल राइट, प्लीज कंफर्म, एम आई ऑडिबल? ऑल राइट, आई नो वेरी लेस टाइम, like little time is available, but still we will continue with that. So let me remind you guys, in the last session what did we learn? We learned about section 128. What is 128 and how to go about it, right? Section 128 and how to go about it. And just a second. All right, please confirm that. Can you see this Excel presentation? All right. So what did we learn? I think 128 we talked about inspection. The last one what I discussed was last point I discussed was inspection. I guess I think this part is done, right? Place of keeping registered like books of accounts. ठीक है. Who is allowed to inspect it? So I told you guys everyone is not allowed to inspect. Only directors are allowed to inspect it, and that is also with certain conditions. Why did I tell that inspection is not allowed to everyone? First of all, it contains the top secret information about the company. Books of accounts contains a lot of things. Only two parties, directors and the auditors, are allowed to inspect the books of accounts. No one else is allowed to inspect the books of accounts. इसके अलावा और कोई बंदा books of accounts को inspect नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है? Just a second, guys. I cannot access my screen. उससे क्या हुआ? Okay. चलो हम शुरू हो जाओ. All right. Fine. Let's continue with that screen only. So there are a few questions about the inspection. Question number one for your exam is, can audit or director of the company inspect the books of accounts of only head office or along with the branch? Let's say there is a director and director wants to inspect the books of accounts of branch as well. So is he allowed to do so or not? Is he allowed to do so? Can he inspect? Can he inspect? Answer the question, guys. Can he inspect the books of accounts of branch offices? Okay, Mahima says yes. What about the other students? What about the other students? Hmm? Is he allowed to do so? Hmm? Answer will be yes as well as no, because as far as the branch is concerned, branch can be have the two types. Branches actually have the two types, if you know, right? The first type of branch here is Indian branch, and the second type of branch is branch which is located at the foreign institution, like the foreign branch, which is incorporated or established outside India. Outside India. Now, as you know, guys, if it is Indian branch, it is very easy to access the books of account. But if the branch is located at a far outside India, it is not easy for the directors to go there and to inspect the books of accounts. देखो, in entire CA Inter, the branch wala topic is coming for many times. It has come for the books of accounts. It will come in the financial statements. Again, it will come in auditor chapter. So take branch very seriously here. All right. Just a second. All right. I hope I'm not the disturbance in between the contents. Right. This technique is shared by Sunil. So is it fine? First time I'm using. ठीक है? ठीक से आ रहा है? सभी तरीके like I don't know how you can see this, but thanks to Sunil sir. All right. Content के बीच में पढ़ाना. Good. So basically here, let me complete the inspection part quickly. As far as the inspection is concerned, guys. Okay, head office directors are allowed. Local branches in the sense like Indian branches. Local branches, Indian branches, obviously it is allowed. But as far as the foreign branches are concerned, all the directors are not allowed to do that. So guys, in case of the foreign branch, in case of foreign branch, director needs to request to the company first of all. This is the small process for the 5 marks. What directors needs to do? Director needs to request to the company first of all, and if company allows by way of passing the board resolution that fine, we don't mind if you go to foreign country and inspect the books of accounts, then and only then the director is allowed to inspect the books of accounts, otherwise not. Otherwise not. I hope it is clear. All right. So please note it down, guys, that as far as the inspection of the branch accounts are concerned, at HO there is no problem, local branches no problem, but foreign branches, director needs to request the company, and if it is permitted by the company, then and only then it can be inspected. Second thing, what about the subsidiary company? Subsidiary company. So there's a question that can a director inspect the books of accounts of books of accounts of any subsidiary company. Any subsidiary company. क्या वो किसी subsidiary company का books of accounts verify कर सकता है? Now, even if subsidiary company is under the control of the holding company, but ultimately it has the separate legal existence, isn't it? It has separate legal existence. It has its own identity. So it is the question of the sovereignty if everyone goes and inspect the books of accounts. How weird it is. Right now, Mukesh Ambani came, inspected the books of accounts of a subsidiary company and he went. After then, his son came. Again, he wants to inspect the books of accounts. So don't you think it would be just like a torture for the subsidiary company? And that is why under section 128, there's a rule. Right now, guys, every director is not allowed to inspect the books of accounts to inspect the books of accounts of subsidiary company, but only the director authorized. Look, I'm not talking about the permission. Authorized by the board by way of passing board resolution is allowed to inspect the books of accounts. Okay. Only the director who is allowed by the company by way of passing the board resolution by the board, only and only that person is allowed to go and inspect the books of accounts. No one else can do that. All right. So I hope, guys, inspection wala point is clear to all of you. Type the word done, guys. Once it is done, then I can go to the next question. All right. Once it is done, guys, let's go to the next topic. And then we'll go with the section 128 explanation. If you, after inspection, the next topic here is preservation of books of accounts. Okay, answer one question that as far as the books of accounts are concerned, isn't it the statutory record? Statutory record in this sense what? The governmental records. Just like the court. Isn't it the governmental records? What do you think? Hmm? क्या ये एक गवर्नमेंटल रिकॉर्ड है या नहीं है? Isn't it a governmental records? Statutory records. Statutory records means, let's in case of certain issues, can it be presented as evidences in the court? So books of accounts are actually evidences. Sometimes court demands. Court relies upon that. And that is why, and understand, investigation, raid, search operation, it can happen at any point of time. It can happen at any point of time. That is why law says you need to keep the books of accounts for a certain period. You need to preserve it for the certain period. Anyone has any idea that books of accounts of the company particularly should be kept, should be held, should be preserved for how much time? How long it should be kept? What is the answer? Answer the question. 10 years. Okay, thank you, Mahima, for replying. What about others? 10 years. What about others? No. Write down, guys, the books of accounts should be preserved for maximum 8 years. Maximum 8 years. 8 सालों के लिए preserve किया जाएगा. It shall be kept, it shall be held for maximum 8 years. Now there is another question. What happened that suddenly income tax department raided? Look, Ajay Devgan का एक अच्छा सा movie आया था raid करके. Have you seen that? It is a good movie to watch if you know. देखा है? हाँ? काफी अच्छा मूवी है. How income tax department and income tax officers are conducting raids, and actually that movie which was created by now, that is based upon the actual story. वो सही में हुआ था यूपी में. Lot of income tax officers beaten badly by those local goons. अगर आप research करोगे तो you will definitely come to know about it. So the question for our exam goes this way. Suppose there is the company called Deepia Limited. This is the company. And suddenly income tax officer raided. Now, basically, according to the law, the books of accounts shall be kept at 8 years. Right on last date to complete 8 years is, let's say, 28th February 2021. This is the date when all 8 years gets completed for that particular year. And suddenly income tax department raided on 27th February 2021. So you tell me, guys, how many days before it is raided? I think one day before this it is raided. Before just one day. Now, as on 1st March 2021, company destroyed all its books of accounts and evidences. Books of accounts. पूरा जला के राख कर दिया. And now when the justification was asked from the company, then what did you do? The income tax officers are asking the questions. What did you do? Now on what basis we will see that what are your manipulations? What is your black money? We do not know. On what basis we will know about it? Now company replying that that is none of my business. According to section 128, if you read, the books of accounts shall be kept, shall be preserved for maximum how many years? Answer the question. For maximum how many years? It shall be kept for maximum 8 years. That's what I have done. 8 साल के लिए करना था, 8 years got completed, so I have destroyed it. So nothing wrong I have made in this. Nothing wrong I have made in this. So in the middle of the investigation, if your 8 years gets over, whether the company is allowed to destroy the books of accounts or not. In the middle of investigation, so write down, guys, note it down. Note it down. In case of any investigation, any inquiry, or an inspection is conducted by the authority or government, then books of account shall be preserved for the longer period than 8 years, 8 years, until the proceedings are completed and court releases. Until the court releases means discharges you that fine, now we don't require your books of accounts. Now you can destroy. Then and only then you are allowed to destroy, otherwise you are not allowed to destroy. You have to keep on continuing in that. Are you clear in this? Hello? I hope it is clear to all of you. Okay. Note it down. What is the next point then after this? Today actually I wanted to cancel the session, but I told even Kritika ma'am, but then my work got over. I said, fine, okay, even if it is half an hour, if I can teach, let me complete some part. And suddenly ma'am had to go somewhere else to attend the meeting. All right. If it is done, then we can go to the next point. Oh my god, it is capturing the bottle as well, yeah? Okay, Mahima's doubt is, sir, after 8 years, can we destroy all books of, or is it like there must be the maximum of 8 years of records from the current date? Not the current date, every year. Let's say today it is 2021. All right, 2021. So 31st March 21, add 8 years in that. 31st March 2029, this is the last date. After then you can destroy this. If there is no any investigation is pending, no any dispute is pending, no any suit is pending. If any inquiry, any suit, any investigation is pending, then until the court discharges, you cannot destroy it. Or until the proceedings is over, you cannot destroy this. So it is 8 years for every, it is for the individual year. This year, 8 years. Next year, next 8 years. Are you getting me? This is how the separate 8 years will be calculated year-wise. Year-wise. It is referential in nature. Okay? Alright, so after this preservation, let me go to the next point. And the next point, if you look at under section 128, it is about who are the defaulting officers. Defaulting officers. You know what? If any group has committed any crime, the leader will be arrested first. Mahima, there should be some number. I don't know any logic. I don't know any logic. I don't know any logic. All right. There should have some number. Okay, you tell me, when any group commits the crime, the leader will be arrested first. If any company commits the crime, the top officials will be arrested first. But who are those officers? So under section 128, they have prepared one list that if books of accounts are not maintained as provided under section 128. So what section 128 says? If it is not in accrual basis, if it is not in double entry system, if the books of accounts are not placed at the registered office or any other place what is notified to ROC, if the branch accounts are not properly sent to head office, if they are not preserved as per the section 128, then there is a list given under section 128 that these all are the officers would be responsible. What those officers are, I don't want to waste my time when I just open that material, the online ebook. I'll show you at that point of time. Fine. After that, books of accounts in the electronic form. Obviously, today you understand that who maintains the books of accounts manually? कौन करेगा ये? Manually maintenance of the books of accounts manually मर जाओगे रे. Is it really easy to maintain the books of accounts manually? No. So today in 2013, the Companies Act 2013 has allowed companies that you are allowed to maintain the books of accounts electronically. But okay, you tell me, physical books of accounts versus electronic, which are more flexible, more fragile. Just one small delete button and everything will be deleted. Electronic books of accounts are very easy to manipulate because in manual you have to go with, you know, all right, one more thing. Electronic has again the two parts. First is offline books of accounts and the second is online cloud-based books of accounts. So what happened is government says that okay, we don't have any problem if you people are maintaining your books of accounts in electronic form. But we have certain rules, we have certain guidelines to follow. Just follow that. For example, you have to intimate to ROC if your data is stored and saved on any server. If it is stored and saved on any server, IP address of that server, the address and the location of the server have to be submitted to ROC that this is the company, I think all of you know what is a cloud, right? Oh my God, don't say no. All of you know what is cloud, right? Come on, man, today everything is getting stored at cloud. So, ठीक है, क्लाउड आपको पता तो होना ही चाहिए कि क्या होता है. If it is stored at the cloud, then who is your cloud storage provider? Who is maintaining the server? What are the IP addresses? Where they are located? And you have to maintain your books of accounts in such a way in the electronic form that is once it is entered, it cannot be changed. Once it is entered, it cannot be changed. Because after entering it, if anyone can manipulate it, doesn't make sense. So you should have a proper security control like ID, password, authentication, OTP. All right. So only and only after the proper authentication, the company is allowed to have the books of accounts in the electronic form. So what are those guidelines? Again, we are going to go with section 128. In the rules, there are separate rules are given. Okay, so this is the basic brief about section 128. Is it clear? Then I will go with the section, actual Barrett section number. Okay. So before I start with anything else, now this is the time. Let's learn exactly what that section says about. Okay, just a second. All right, maybe my another screen is not working, so कोई बात नहीं, इसी से काम करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. I hope you can see this empty website, and we people are going towards acts and rules, and this is the ebook. Click on the acts and the companies act, and we are learning here accounts and the 128. All right. So guys, look, each and every section now what is written here, we have already discussed, but now we're learning, like we want to cross check that what is mentioned, what is written in the Bare Act. Bare Act means the parliamentary language. So it is written that every company shall prepare and keep its registered office, keep at its registered office books of account and other relevant books and papers, and the financial statement for every financial year. So till this everyone is clear. So primary fundamental place of business, sorry, place to keep the books of account is what? Primary place to keep the books of account is what? As you can see, registered office, which give a true and fair view of the state. Now this is very interesting. It also says that which must give the true and fair view, which must give the true and fair view of the state of the affairs of the company. It is very much unfortunate that even if it is mentioned that companies should prepare the books of accounts in such a way which gives the true and fair view, but what is the definition of true and fair view? It is not defined in the act. You look at all the possible words are defined. For example, books of accounts, if you click on this, so what is actually books of accounts? These all records are considered as books of accounts. If you see here, books of accounts, so look, section 2, subsection 13, provide books of accounts. So what it says, books of account includes the records maintained in respect of all sum of money received and expended. So can I talk about it is the just like the money received and paid. So receipt and payment by company and matters in relation to which the receipts and expenditure taken place. So matters means explanation that if this journal entry is there, for what reason it is passed. Sales and purchase records, assets and liability records. If you are a manufacturing unit, then items of cost, that is the cost accounting records. So all these records are considered as being the part of books of accounts. Books of accounts. Easy to understand? Hello? All right. Then if you look at financial year, again guys, before I start with the further discussion, financial year, sometimes there can be the question out of the financial year. So you tell me, what is the financial year for the company? What can be the financial year for the company? What can be the financial year for the company? 1st April to 31st March, is it true? 1st April to 31st March, is it true? Look, if I just compare this definition with the Companies Act of 1956, Companies Act in 1956. So earlier in the 1956, there was a provision that books of accounts of the company can be for more than 12 months, or it could be for less than 12 months. It could be both. More than as well as less than 12 months. But this time the company law has fixed it. It will start from 1st April 20, like 1st April, it will end to 31st March. So today it is not possible that company can have more than one or less than. Until and otherwise, the company has come from the foreign country and it has the special consent given by the tribunal. So look at the definition of financial year. Okay, financial year. Uh, oh my God. Yes. So this is section 2, subsection 41. Are you able to see this? Financial year in relation to any company or body corporate means the period ending as on 31st day of the March every year. So if you read this much sentences, what is the definition of financial year? April to March. And where it has been incorporated. Now this language is very, very important. This language is very, very important. And this is the tricky point. If the question is framed out of this, trust me guys, more than 90% students will fail to answer this. If you don't have knowledge of this particular provision. What it is written? Where it has been incorporated on or after the first day of January of a year, then the period ending on 31st day of the March of the following year, in respect whereof the financial statement of the company or body corporate is made up. What do you mean by this? For example, if okay, let me take it this way. I think without example it would be difficult to understand. Suppose there is a company and the company's name is Milan Limited. All right, Milan Limited, which is incorporated as on 11th February 2019, or let me take it 2019. Tell me the financial year for first financial year for Milan Limited. What shall be the first financial year? What shall be the first financial year? So there are two answers. The first students are answering, sir, it is 11th February 2019 to 31st March 2019. It's so simple, sir. So simple. Is it the correct answer? First financial year. Look, you cannot say 1st April 2018 because company itself is incorporated as on 11th February 2019. So in this example, you tell me students that what is the actual first financial year. So if you look at this paragraph, what it is written, that if any company which is incorporated on or after the first day of January, so can I say this company is incorporated after January? Hello? Technically, can I say that this company is incorporated after January? So if this company if this company is incorporated after January, then financial year ending of following year, following is the next year, then the 31st day of March of the following year shall be considered. What do you mean by following year? Next year. So next year end will be what? Next year end will be what? 2020 or 2019? Come on, student. I'm not asking only to Mahima. Only Mahima is efforting, just like she is the leader of the entire class. Expecting from others to reply. So the real answer is right on, guys. The first financial year would begin from, of course, 11th February 2019, and it will end up to 31st March 2020. Well, Mahima, it is the correct answer. It is the correct answer. Okay, note it down. Note it down this question quick. That is the financial year. All right. All right. Now, in across the globe, all the countries are following the financial year like 1st April to 31st March. But there can be certain countries where 31st March is not the year end. What do you think? All those Arabian countries, they are not following 31st March. They are following the Islamic calendar. Even we have our own Indian calendar, but we don't follow that. So there are a lot of countries who do not follow the British calendar, 1st April to 31st March. No, they don't follow. So what if, guys, one of my subsidiaries or one of my holding company belongs to that country in which financial year is altogether different. And I am facing the trouble because over there it is different year, here it is a different year. And I need to finalize my books of accounts somewhere in the middle of the year. So it is very hectic for me. It is very hectic for me because making a lot of auditing transactions, making a lot of provisions at two different times of the year, it is very hectic. So can I change my financial year? So write down guys the question here. Question. Suppose there's a company called Shamika Limited. Shamika Limited. And this company is having a subsidiary in Turkey, which follows the financial year starting from suppose 1st of July to 30th June. Company wants to change its financial year to maintain the consistency. Explain whether is it allowed in Companies Act or not. Answer is absolutely yes, it is allowed. Simply what you need to do is you need to apply to an authority of India, and once you have applied to authority, you need to take the consent of it. And once the consent is given by that authority, you can go. What is that authority? It is central government. Sorry, it is not a tribunal, it is central government. Apply to central government, arguing that, excusing that this is what are the reasons, and I want to maintain the separate financial year than is maintained or mentioned under section 128. And if the central government permits, fine, you can do that. Where it's mentioned, so look at this, guys. It is mentioned in the second paragraph. Can you see the second paragraph? Hello? All right. It is written that provided that where a company or body corporate, which is a holding company or a subsidiary or associate company or of a company, whatever kind of company, it is incorporated outside India and is required to follow the different financial year for consolidation of its accounts outside India. The central government may, on an application made by that company or body corporate in whatever form prescribed by the government and manner as may be prescribed, allow any period as its financial year, whether or not that period is a year. What does it mean, not a year? So it can be for less than 12 months, it may be for more than 12 months too. So who has the authority to change the to allow for changing the financial year? Answer will be central government. Hey guys, are these two paragraphs clear to all of you? Hello? Financial year, and there can be the possible question in your exam. Okay? Now, this paragraph dispose of, it is not applicable. It is just a simple that whatever cases regarding financial year are pending before the tribunal and the court. then the new amendment will be followed for that. Older rules will not be followed. So this paragraph is talking about that now new rules will be followed, old will not be followed. But now there is a question. Okay, now there is a question. Let's take another question here. The question goes in this way. Suppose there is a company called Textiles, Textiles Limited, and this company before commencement of 2013, it is maintaining the books of accounts having only 9 months. As I told you before introduction of the Companies Act 2013, earlier it was possible to maintain the books of accounts for more than 12 months and the less than 12 months, right? So there is a company, Shriram Textiles Limited. Since last many years, his books of accounts are getting closed at only for the 9 months. And now, after introduction of 2013, it is made it compulsory to make it consistent. What are the provisions to make it consistent for all those companies which were following the financial year for less than 12 months, not April to March, but any of the financial year. So law says that for them they have 2 years. They need to comply these new provisions of the section 128. Read with section 2 subsection 41. What is section 2 subsection 41? Batao. Section 2 subsection 41 talks about what? It talks about the financial year definition. They need to comply this within the 2 years. Where it is mentioned, if you look at the definition, it is clearly written over here. Provided also that a company or a body corporate existing on the commencement of this act shall within a period of 2 years from such commencement align its financial year as per the new provisions of this clause. Okay, so entire section 41 is clear, and section 2 subsection 41, it is a good provision for examination. Okay, all right, if you want to take a note for that, obviously what I'll do is, shall I put it on the chat box, or you can take the snapshot as well, it is up to you. Okay, let me just put myself a little bit down. Yeah, now I think now I'm not in the middle of contents. By the way, how the experience is, okay? First time I'm just experimenting this. Huh? How the experiment is it good? कैसा लग रहा है सबको? Or it is disturbing in nature. If it is disturbing, then I'll go back to my old style, switch off the video and just take the continuous class. Okay, you will not be able to see that. How am I? I think I can point you out like this. Okay, just a second. Let me just mirror myself. How can I do that? Wait. Just a second. Huh? Yeah, this is the perfect mirroring, I guess. Yes. Now what I can do is look. I'm just trying to tell you. Look. अच्छा मुझे बताओ फ्रेम में मैं कैसे आ रहा हूँ ऐसे करके ऐसे करूँ अगर कि ये देखो ये फाइनेंशियल ईयर है तो मेरी उंगली जा रही है उधर नहीं जा रही है if I put myself in the frame like look, this is the financial year whether my finger is exactly coming on the financial year huh? This is the ending on the look at this 31st. Oh my god, then I'm the magician. Wow. Okay guys, look at this financial year ending on 31st day. Which section it is here? Section 41. Don't forget it's section 41. अरे बाप रे. Really, is it exactly going there, huh? Like this? ठीक है मजा आ रहा है भाई alright it should be like in the content like this is the financial year and like this underline like this Body corporates and just it is also experimental for me as well. ठीक है कोई नहीं अभी छोटे में रहने में मिला है जाने दो ज्यादा बड़ा नहीं होना है ठीक है औकात में रहते हैं all right so after that guys let's continue with this so look how one word can change the direction of question. So again, guys, let me read the subsection number 1. So every company shall prepare and keep at its registered office the books of account and other relevant books and papers and financial statements. What is financial statement? I will tell you under section 129. Again, we have the definition, but I don't want to tell you it right now. Every financial year, you know what's the best part about this book is if you just simply hover your mouse over there, entire meaning will come. Look at this financial year. Just simply hover your mouse over there and you can see all contents will be appearing here. So you don't need to refer back to that. So online, if anyone doesn't want to go with the physical material, I think this material is the best material. Along with that, you go with my notes, and that's all. Which give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the company, including that of the branch office, okay, or offices if any, and explain the transactions affected both at the registered office and its branches. And such books shall be kept on accrual basis and according to the double entry system of accounting. So I think questions already we have done कि accrual basis में ही करना है. वो डॉक्टर वाला क्वेश्चन किया था राइट किया था ना डॉक्टर वाला क्वेश्चन hospital wants to maintain on cash basis allowed or not allowed not allowed why section 128 subsection 1 clearly denies for that it should be only the double entry system single entry is not allowed further it says that provided that all or any of the books of account aforesaid and other relevant papers may be kept at such other place in India as the board of directors may decide. Where such a decision is taken, the company shall within 7 days thereof file with the registrar a notice in writing giving the full address of that other place. So I think question from this paragraph also we have covered up, right? About the place, if company wants to change the place of keeping books of accounts from its registered office to somewhere else. So who has the power? Not the shareholders. Board of directors have the power for that. And once that decision is passed in the board meeting, after then it will be intimated to ROC. It will be intimated to ROC. Fine. Provided further that the company may keep such books of account or other relevant papers in electronic mode in such a manner as may be prescribed. So the moment when you look at this blue color here, what does it mean? Can you tell me now? Electronic mode is fine, but the moment you see here blue color, what does it mean? Can I say these are the rules which are not included in the provision? So this is provision. Now, whenever this blue color is mentioned, that link states that link provides electronic way. All right, guys. Already time is up. So what are the rules to maintain the books of accounts in the electronic way? Like server में क्या होना चाहिए? Do you want me to? I think we have till 350, 350 today, right? 350 तक है ना? All right. So let me quickly go with those. By the way, some fundas I have already explained. Simply click on this blue color and look at guys, these all are the rules to be maintained. Okay. Now this part, it is the amendment. Look, whatever green part is there, it is the amendment. And this would be applicable on the first day of April 2022. So guys, this part is the hot favorite point, or I can say as it is the amendment. And again, it is very good amendment. The same will be repeated. Look, if you look at this green audit, look at this one word called the audit trail. Are you able to see this audit trail word here? Hello, all of you. If you look at section 129A, which is recently issued, 129 Just a second. The same, not a 129, the same shall be repeated in the audit of chapter as well. Now, what is the cross reference? I need some more explanation because audit trail is not easy to tell. So my suggestion is better we will do in the next class, because look, this kind of beautiful concept I don't want to leave on you. Just go through the homework. ऐसा मुझे नहीं करना. This amendment, what is written over here, I want all of you to do in the class only, but in detail. ये हर एक चीज, can you see this much contents are there? This much contents are there. This much contents are there. All right. In tomorrow's class, I will tell you how to make the summary notes out of the contents. Have you observed while I teach? Sometimes while I teach, what I do is from the paragraph, I convert the entire paragraph into the chart. Have you seen that? So which part is easy to remember? Which part is easy to remember? Not paragraphs. So even that is my request. Look, in my class, I cannot convert everything into chart. I'll try my best. But certain things you have to learn that while you're learning, and if it is long or a lot of paragraphs are there, a lot of subsections are there, better you create one huge chart. And at the time of revision, just look at that chart and fine, everything will get done. Okay. So I think I should shut the shop for the day. And tomorrow, remind me, section 128, subsection 1, electronic mode, we are going to cover up. Okay. I think somewhere at one time in RTP or MTP, somewhere this question was there. So we should not leave it. Okay. Good luck, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Till this, anyone has any doubt? Till this, anyone has any doubt? Hello? Till this, anyone has any doubt? Clear, no? Good luck.